Hello there, and welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about the answer to the question, does homeschooling set students up for success? So we'll kind of delve into that, explore that in this video. The first part of this video, we're going to be looking at the academic aspects of homeschooling. We'll move from that into talking about the social emotional development of students in a homeschool. We're going to look at the challenges of homeschooling and how to maybe overcome some of those. We're going to look at the long-term impact of homeschooling. And then last, we're going to look at how this applies in the real world. Homeschools offer some really unique advantages to academic success. And part of that is the personalization of the educational program and curriculum, meeting the demands or desires of the student, try to really match up their learning. This is one reason why small classes are so beneficial. In the homeschool, you got really small classes, even if you're doing a co-op, right? And that working together with other families can really help design some really unique learning opportunities. When you have the right curriculum as well, and by right curriculum, there's lots of different theories and ideas behind this, but when you match the curriculum with your goals and your strategies for implementation, that really can excel the academic learning. One of the advantages too is the idea of self-discipline, right? Where oftentimes homeschool environment, the child needs to do more of the learning on their own, right? It's less teacher-directed, not always, but very often less teacher-driven and more student-driven, which really improves the thinking skills and the academic study skills of the students. Now, for many parents, and even quite honestly, people in the professional educational realm, one of the drawbacks they say about homeschooling is they don't get the chance to really interact with diverse groups, and this idea of diversity is a huge benefit of being in public schools. And there's some elements, truth to that, but the bottom line is that when you want the social emotional development of your child, teaching them certain social skills can happen within the family structure, and as you expand out and get them involved in more opportunities through sports and music and theater and dance and all these other kinds of group community-run programs or other homeschool co-op kind of programs, those interactions with other people begin to happen. So they're going to begin to experience different cultures, different diversity, different people. You can't not go through life and not really begin to experience the different personalities of people when you're out in communities. Now, it's very true that some communities are more diverse than others in terms of race and ethnicity and things of that sort. But people are diverse by the very nature of human beings. So you're gonna, once you start expanding those opportunities, they're gonna meet a lot of people with different ideas, different character, different, their own different belief systems. And it's really those things that you're hoping the person will be able to develop and make good decisions and discern and interact with in a positive way. And that comes from both education and training and opportunities to interact with more people, which can be done very easily in a homeschool setting. So some challenges for families going into the homeschool thing are related to supervision of students and their own work. And that can be a challenge. If you have two parents who both kind of need to work, want to work, desire that work, then balancing their schedules and trying to work from home and monitor children is a concern and a challenge that some parents need to kind of face and work through. But there are solutions, including co-ops, which is a powerful solution where families in similar situations, you share that kind of workload. Self-discipline of children, setting up a self-study kind of environment modeled after like the Robinson curriculum, where students really begin to learn on their own and parents are there to add some supervision and some guidance when needed, but not to directly teach lessons. So those are some easy solutions to that challenge. Beyond just those, it is potential, depending on your own financial means and things, to hire some teachers so that you can get flexible with how you schedule the day, getting kids involved in swim lessons and karate and other things that they might be able to do during the day for a couple hours that frees you up to do some of your own work. So there's different ways that you can work on that particular challenge. Another common concern that parents have is, especially for high school students, is the high school course load, things like chemistry or physics or calculus or some of these harder classes. How can I possibly teach that? And the solutions are similar to what I just talked about. There are maybe enrolling them in a college class, online courses. There's online kind of help that if the students trying to learn it on their own, they can go to places like Khan Academy and other things to get some really good explanations for things they might be struggling with. There's lots of online resources that students can refer to, and it goes right back to that self-learning environment that you've created, which is very beneficial for students to learn. When they can learn it on their own and find the answers to their questions, help them solve the challenges that they are finding in this, and they can find those answers on their own, you're setting them up for lifelong success. So that sort of skill and learning to learn that homeschoolers seem to develop a little bit better by the nature of homeschooling. And again, that is a generalization, but the structure of a homeschool is very often more conducive to that than the structure of a traditional public school setting. And that long-term success of learning how to learn is enormous. There is constant learning as you're going through your career. There's updates, there's new technology, there's all kinds of things you need to learn how to do. And when you have really trained somebody to do that well, they are much more likely to pursue learning on their own, much more likely to be able to teach themselves and make themselves more valuable in the marketplace of labor or entrepreneurship by seeing problems, figuring out how they can solve that problem, learning specialized knowledge, which is incredibly important to have if you're going to have long-term job security or economic benefits. And all of those things really emanate from this mindset that they've developed around the self-discipline, independence, and learning how to really think and problem solve that tends to be more, by its very structure of homeschooling, evident in homeschool environments than many public schools. For a life example, I want to talk about Sho Yano. Sho Yano, as a youngster, wasn't really finding the success and the level of success that his parents had kind of hoped in the school setting. So they decided to homeschool him, where they had much more control over his curriculum and the structure of the learning, and really helped to foster his intellect and his thinking skills and his well-roundedness. They were able to engage him and get him involved in music and the social emotional development. He began to interact with older children, but his social emotional skills were able to develop, even though there was an age gap in a lot of what he was doing and his education with older children. But it worked for Sho. He was able to develop that wholeness, that well-roundedness. From all indications, he wasn't negatively impacted by being a youngster with older people and some of the learning environments that he found himself. But his skill set was able to develop to the point where by the age of 21, he had earned his MD and his PhD in molecular genetics and cell biology. That's quite remarkable, considering also that, again, from all apparent indications, his social emotional development went right along with that. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out all our other videos. In particular, you might be interested in the video, How to Achieve Academic Success in College, And you also might want to check out our podcast as well. You can find all of that on my YouTube channel when you subscribe. So subscribe now.